everybody. All right, so I was sent this product here to review. And what this is a diesel powered heater. Really excited about this. This is a very small unit. Here it is right here. And we're going to go over in details of what it's all about. It's diesel power for heating. And it's a very good solution, especially if you have outbuildings, animals. In my case, I have fish and dogs and chickens and ducks and that kind of stuff. This is a perfect solution for heating them buildings that it's kind of hard to get to run some other kind of heating solution. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer. We're going to go over what's in the package and get this thing installed and get it working. So for now, I'm going to bring you in a little bit closer and we're going to open these boxes and I'm going to show you what's in this kit. It's really, really cool, and we'll see you here in a second. All right, so here's the user manual. And I believe how you pronounce this is LIKACI. And we're going to go with that, LIKACI. Diesel air car parking heater. It's basically a heater that runs on diesel. Very, very cool. So that's the manual. I'm going to set that down here. And then the mounting plate, which is for mounting the little heater onto wherever you decide to put it. So we'll go over that in more detail. They sent some little gloves. The gas tank. All right, it's pretty good quality, plastic. Something that you would put fuel in. So right out the bat, I see we got something stuck in the side here. That looks like the controller. All right, so let's just take this straight on out of here. Pretty heavy. Not super heavy, but it's got some weight to it. So there's the unit, the heating unit. And there is the fuel pump, remote control. Pretty cool. On, off, plus, minus. And then a little cover that goes over top of that. There you go. Here's the little controller. So let's take a peek at the build quality. It's a really pretty beefy plastic. There's the sticker. This is the model SP037-08, 12 volt, 24 volt, 5 to 8 kilowatts diesel heater. A couple little flexible pipes for vent, I believe. This is for venting into wherever you're venting it to. Looks like some fuel hose, some more flexible hose, bunch of parts and pieces, a little muffler, kind of like just a little baffle. Looks like your exhaust pipe. Then all your wiring harness, rubber piece of hose for fuel, and then your vent. So down here, looks like your exhaust and your intake, and then a rubber gasket. All right, so that's that. This is the plug for plugging in the wiring harness. And I think we unscrew this, and then this piece should come off. There we go, look at that. Let's just get this cover off. That way we can see the inner workings of this thing. So, like I said, this is, fairly heavy, but not super heavy. It's got quite a few fins in it for dissipating heat. And then your controller for controlling everything. And then, of course, your fan, which is going to circulate all the heat. So super excited. We're going to get this thing fired up and running and see how it performs. So here's the entire unit installed on the side of this little shed I've got. So here's everything that comes in a kit. Diesel heater, and then the tube going into the shed for the air. It's your intake right here for fresh air. So if you think of this like a little motor, you need an air intake. So here is your air intake, and there's your exhaust. So the fuel tank, I just temporarily bolted it over here on the wall. So all the fittings are done. Comes up to the fuel filter. Biggest thing here is just getting this fuel filter in a way that you can bleed it to make sure you get all the air bubbles out of it, because that's very important when you purge this, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. And then it comes on up here to the fuel pump or oil pump, then back around here in a little loop, and then it comes around here and then goes up to the heater. Now I just kind of created a little ledge here to kind of hold it temporary until I get something more permanent built, and just for demonstration. So there it is bolted there, that's that plate. So here's the wiring harness where it plugs in. And then you've got the power that goes to the fuel pump. And then here are your two leads coming down to the battery. This line right here goes up to the display, which goes inside the building. So there you go, that's it in a nutshell. So I'm going to show you how to prime the pump. Right now it's off, and it's been off for a while. There's a little button right here that you just hold in for 2 seconds, and that'll start the prime. There it goes, it started. Now it's going to stop. In order to get this to keep priming, you have to hold that in. So I'm going to show you how to program the remote. It's pretty straightforward. You hold down the power button and the down arrow key. This comes on. You can select up to 5 remotes. We got it on 1, and then you hit any key on the remote and it's programmed. All right, we're out here. I'm getting ready to turn it on, and we're going to go ahead and turn this thing on using a remote. Just kicked on. Now you do have to hold the on button for like 2 seconds in order to make it turn on. I think it's starting to get a little warm. I hear the pump ticking. And the fan's starting to pick up. You can hear it. Oh, and it's warm. So now it's blowing warm. And what I'm going to do is bring you on the inside. We're back inside the building. You can see it's running really good. It's on high 3 right now. If I was to use the remote and just go up, you can see I can turn the fan up and turn it up to high. You can see the pump is working, the fan is turning, and it's heating. And right down here you can see the air and exhaust coming in and out of the machine. And then the injector. So you can see it ramping up. Now let's go through. If you hit OK over here, you can go through the different features right above here. And I'm just going to go through them real quick. The voltage, the speed, and then the temperature. Now this temperature right here is the temperature of the unit outside. So it's how hot this is getting. And then here's the inside temperature, which is boiling in here already. It's 83. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down. I'm gonna use the remote. And you can hear it go down. And let's go check the voltage. Voltage is 14. I've got a little charger on that battery out there. That's why it's kind of overcharged a little bit. This thing can handle, I believe, 12 to 24 volt. And you can see the temperature starting to go down now. Really, really awesome. I mean, this thing really works. You can already see the temperature up here. It's 83. Now, these rooms that I have fish in, I like to keep them between, I don't know, let's say 70 and 80, somewhere along in there. If I want to be able to stay in this room, I keep it around 72, 73. The fish may not like it, but I like it. So you can see the temperature start to go down. It's ramping down. All right, so it's at the point where there's very little heat coming out of the vent down here, but you can still see that the fan is slowly turning. The injector is still burning, trying to burn off whatever fuel's left in there. But here in a minute, once it finishes cooling down and finishes cleaning up, this thing should shut down. And it sounds like it's getting ready to shut off, and it did. So there you go. It cleaned itself up, cooled down, shut everything off. All right, that went together pretty easy. I used all the parts that came with the kit. I only had a few left over, and this was just some extra stuff. So I think I did pretty good, and I got to use some tools. So I'm super happy. Overall, this is a really good heater for somebody that wants to fix a situation where you need heat and you don't want to break the bank trying to do it. This is a really, really good solution. That heater is pretty incredible to me. It allows you to customize that heater into whatever situation that you may have. Now, I have fish rooms out here, and that's one of my biggest dilemmas is keeping the fish tanks at a certain temperature. Not only can I retrieve the heat from what it's making, but it's also making heat in the exhaust. So use your imagination. There's a lot of different ways that you can use this heater in your situation. Overall, I'm impressed with it. I wish I could spend more time with you showing you all the bells and whistles of this thing. It would probably take me 2 hours to go over all the installation part of it and just all the other features that's involved in it. So overall, super impressed with this little system. It did exactly what it said it was going to do. It was going to make heat. Very, very cool. I hope that helps, and we'll talk to you in the next one.